Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome to our Friday project. Well, today we're going to be carrying on with our series on how to use our nesting dies. And for this video, we're going to be using our square nesting dies. We're going to be using them for mats and layers, but in a slightly different way. Usually we would just build them up, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to do something a little bit different. So for this project, you will need, or we're going to make, a 6x6 card. If you want to adapt this for other sizes, you can. You'll just need, although it wouldn't be square anymore, but you could adapt this easily for oval cards or for rectangular cards. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be making a square card with our nesting dies. So on the other side, let me just make sure I've got it the right way. That would be embarrassing. I haven't, not quite. There we go. On the front, I've selected some pattern paper, and that too, this part needs to be 6x6. Now there are a few measurements for this project, and I'll try and go slowly, but I will put all the measurements in the description box below. So first of all, we will need a 6x6 card and a 6x6 pattern paper. And I would suggest, unless you want a different look, that you use the same pattern paper throughout. And you'll see what I mean by that as we go along. So I'm using two types of material, for want of a better word. I'm using my pattern paper for this project, and I'm using gold mirror card. So the next thing you will need is a square of gold mirror card. And you will need 4 of these. And these ones measure 2.5 squared. So that's the first one. You will also need a mat to go on top of that. Again, 4 of those. And that measures 1 3/4 squared. And again, all of these measurements will be in the description box below. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to use a strong glue stick just to save a little bit of time. Because I still haven't managed to I haven't got around to getting my other PVA glue out of the drawer yet. I will do, I'll do it today, ready for the next project. And we are going to put that in the middle so that we've got a nice frame. Now, if you want your border to be narrower, cut a bigger square, but because we're using mirror card, I quite like to see quite a bit of a border. But if you want a narrower border, just cut a slightly bit, just use the next square up in your nesting dies. So what I've done with mine is I've selected my die, and I did try the next one down, but for me, the border was a little bit thin. So I did the alternate one down. So I missed one and then did the next one, but we're not going any further with that. This is the only mat we'll need for this section. And on the back, I have got some foam tape just to make it a little more dimensional. It should still go into an envelope. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick that right in the corner, right up to the corner, like that. And I have got 4 more, or 3 more I should say, over here already. They're all cut and they're all glued, so you don't have to watch me do the same thing 4 times, don't worry. And we're going to put that in that corner. This paper isn't directional, so it doesn't really matter which way round you do it. It's really a matter of preference. So the reason I'm doing it like this is so that you still got a bit of that beautiful pattern paper showing through. You can use different patterns if you wanted to. If you wanted to use a different pattern between this one and this one, you can. But I did try it, and to me it looked a bit awkward. It looked a bit uncohesive, if that's the right word, or if it is a word at all. If it's not, it shouldn't be. It should be. But for me, I find it better if it's all the same, if all the pattern paper is the same. Now, but that's just a personal opinion. If you want to try using different papers or different patterns, by all means go ahead. Dig out your papers and see what you can come up with. So the next one you will need another square mat, but a larger one this time. And this one measures, if I can find my notes, 4.5 square. And you will only need 1 of those. And your final mat will be 3 3 3/4. Sorry, I couldn't find my notes. So this one is 4.25, I beg your pardon. I should learn to read, shouldn't I? Or maybe I should learn to write clearer. So this mat, you'll only need one, and it's 4.25. And you'll need a pattern mat, and that is 3 3/4. But they'll all be down in the description box anyway, so don't worry. So we are going to quickly get this glued on. Very quickly. So let me just pop that up there a bit, so that you can see what's going on. Although I'm only putting glue on the back of this. So this is one of those where it was a solid pattern on one side and offcuts or cut aparts on the other. So we're just going to lie that down. That one is a little bit the narrow. I've done it like that so you can see what it looks like when you've got a narrow border or a larger border. That way you can make your own mind up as to which you prefer. And again, on the back, I have got some foam tape. So we'll just quickly take the backing off and pop that on. So that goes in the middle like that. So we'll just line it up. Yes, I think that's about right. And push it down. And just to finish it off, in my stash, I found a sentiment, and it already has the gold edge round it, and the back, the colouring matches that. And I didn't measure that. I was looking for my ruler. Oh, there it is. Now this one, if you want the same diameter as mine, is between, I'd say 3 inches, between 2 3/4 and 3 inches. So 2 3/4 or 3 inches. Well, let's call it 3 inches because it's closer to 3 inches. So, right, I'll put that down there for now. So that's at roughly 3 inches, fractionally under 3 inches. So 3 inches would be fine. And it says, birthdays are made for tea and cake. Isn't that wonderful? And I'm going to lay that down there. Again, I'm putting it on with foam tape. And there we have a card made with our square nesting dies. We've used mats and layers, but in a slightly different way, maybe a little bit more decorative. And it stands up really well, like that. So if I rock it back, you can see it. Or if I lay it flat, you can see it better. So there we go, guys. There is our second project from our nesting dies, and this time we have used our circle dies. And when you come back next Tuesday, I will be doing the third in this series of nesting dies, and we will be using another one, a different one. So pop back then and see what I get up to next and which shape dies I use and what I use them for. And in the meantime, have a great weekend, take care everybody, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.